recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zahkia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I am here today with Zahkia Mendoza. Hello, Zahkia.
Hello, Jonathan. Hello, friends.
I am here today with Nick Groves. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Nick. Nick, I noticed that you're in a fake library today, which is different than your normal whack background.
Well, that was so what was it? It was an episode or two ago. Somebody asked about my background, and I realized that I had given exactly no thought to it ever.
You were living in the industrial building that everybody in
right,
Teams
like
and
the
Skype.
default. Yeah, it was like the default background. So somebody asked about it, and I'm like, well, maybe I should actually think about it. So now I'm picking the other default backgrounds every week.
Well, this doesn't help you look more learned, so I'm sorry.
Nothing will.
No, you're right. Okay, now we have some great guests today, guys. GK Lyttle is with us today. Hello, GK.
Howdy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Riley Sherer is with us today. Hello, Riley.
Hi.
And Bryson McCain is with us today. Hello, Bryson.
Hello, Jonathan. What's happening?
What's happening is all good. I want to get to know all of you a little bit better. GK, let's start with you.
Okay.
Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I am GK. I am from the northern part of New Jersey. I am a government contractor by day and budding thespian by night.
Ooh.
Something fun about myself. Well, I have 3 things going through my head, but I think one that I haven't shared with everybody yet is that I got stuck in an elevator with Angela Lansbury once, which was fun for all of like 30 minutes. But
Holy moly.
Yeah, so I used to work for I interned at a Broadway production company, Wolf Productions. They did Memphis back in the day. That was their big thing that they were doing at the time. And I was the grunt, right? So I had to go to the Tony office to drop off some paperwork. And I got into the elevator and I didn't realize it was Angela Lansbury. I just saw this nice aged lady who was standing there next to me. We got stuck at like the 15th floor and had to wait like 30 minutes for the fire department to come and rescue us. But I didn't realize it was Angela Lansbury because she didn't say her name until she came out of the elevator with the firefighter people, and one of the firefighters recognized her, and I was like, well, damn, I just had this 30-minute conversation with this nice lady, and her name was Angela Lansbury. I was like, well, crap.
You did not recognize her for 30 minutes?
No.
And talking to her, hearing her
voice.
Hearing
her voice?
Oh, that would have been, I would not have been able to stop like humming Beauty and the Beast or just under in the background.
Now, here's the truly important question, though. Did she solve a mystery while you were in the elevator?
So here's the thing. So I did talk to her. Because in the back of my mind, I knew she was so familiar. And that voice, believe it or not, I didn't recognize her from Murder, She Wrote or Beauty and the Beast. I had in the back of my mind Sweeney Todd. Just right there in the back of my mind. And I told her by like 5 minutes before the firefighters came, like, I have a song stuck in my head, and it's God That's Good from this play called Sweetie Todd. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have.
She's like, "Oh yes, dearie, I know it quite well." And I'm like, "Oh, great." She's like, "Yeah, I played Mrs. Lovett once." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And nothing. Nada.
Once on Broadway.
See, I'd be sitting there just going, Triguna, McQuaid's, Tricorum, Sadis, D.
Oh, yes, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Yes. Oh, GK, that is, honestly, that's amazing and disappointing all at the same time. Oh. Yeah, but, all right. Well, we're glad to have you here. None of us are as famous as Angela Lansbury, but you're also not trapped in an elevator, so it's a win.
True.
All right. Riley, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I'm from Piqua, Ohio. I clean draft lines and install draft beer systems for a living.
Okay.
Something fun. Oh, gosh, I don't know. I thought about this question all week, and I got nothing. I was in Germany when the wall came down.
Okay. What was that like?
I don't know. I was 9.
He's like, the cartoon still came on the TV that I had to watch.
I don't know. I'm an old punk rock kid. I've been to probably over 1,000 shows in my life.
Okay. You and Paul McLaughlin need to have a punk rock convo. He's a big punk rock guy. Can I ask you a question about the draft beer stuff?
Yeah, sure.
What is the dirtiest line you've ever seen?
You do not want to hear.
I do want to know. Like, what are we talking about here?
Hold on, let me just show you a picture.
He's got
oh no, he's like, this isn't the dirtiest. This is just the Saturday.
Right.
Let me just see, like you can see. I don't know.
I don't know if I can. I see
Text
white.
it to the chat.
Oh, there we go.
No.
There we go.
Oh, no.
What am I looking at here? It looks like a plate.
That is like mold and bacteria coming out of beer lines.
Oh,
That's
God.
pouring it on a plate.
So is it?
Yeah,
I
cannot drink beer anywhere unless like I've serviced it. It's insane.
Yeah. It's so most of the bars that we go to, that you hip young kids go to, like their lines are probably filthy, right?
Yeah, just buy bottled beer.
Wow. Well, what about the lines that are used to make the bottled beer?
Well, like breweries are way different. Comes straight out of a tank, you know, and then
there's still lines
goes to a bottling line. No, it's a little different. They go through stainless steel tubes. It's a lot cleaner. It's not like everything in draft beer is all vinyl lines.
Okay.
So,
all right. That's actually some really useful advice. Buy bottled beer.
Yeah.
Because the other stuff is filthy.
Don't be afraid to ask your bartender when's the last time they had their lines cleaned.
The answer is almost never.
Oh boy. All right. Good advice from Riley.
Right.
Well, it's great to have you on the show today. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
And Bryson, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I'm Bryson. I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. I'm a physician. Something interesting about myself. For my 40th birthday a few years ago, I flew to Spain and I ran with the Bulls in Pamplona.
How long did you run?
The Bulls are much faster than the people. So ideally, the best thing you can do is run from the people, then from the bull, then behind the bull, and then you hit the arena on the far end. There's not a lot of dodging side to side because basically you're looking for the bull, you're looking to see where people have stopped in front of you, you're looking for the bull, looking for people, and your entire universe shrinks down to about 5 feet in every direction because you are just looking as fast as you can. A guy fell down right in front of me. I literally jumped him and kept going. And that's what they say what to do. If you're down, stay down because the bull will see you as an obstacle and they will jump over you. If you are at horn level, you're a target.
Yep.
Wow. So it sounds like you didn't just I know that some people say they ran with the bulls and what they did was jump onto the track a good distance before the bulls show up, run 50 feet or so, find an exit, and jump out. It doesn't sound like what you did.
I was within arm's length of a bull for 20, 30 seconds, something like that. There's this long left-hand curve before they come to the arena, and that's about when I peeled off to the side to let the rest of the match
I'm just impressed that after 40, you ran.
I run every day, and I'm planning on doing it again for 50.
Good for you.
I'm not running unless someone's chasing me, and even then I'll probably give up.
Yep, I am 100%.
You got somebody chasing you. Just saying.
100%.
That is magnificent. I love it. Well, we're going to have an absolute great time today. I am glad that all of you are here, and we're going to get this thing started right now with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
You know, as you were saying that, I made a mental note. Zahkia, when you ask like what kind of wager you want to do, Bryson's going to go all in. He's not a conservative dude.
You know what? Just keep thinking that, Jonathan.
Oh, but see, you're going to try and make me think the opposite, and then you're going to flip it back and do the same thing that I said you would. So it's a little cat and mouse game. I love it.
Anyone who's running with the bulls isn't
You
conservative.
should play poker. Do you play poker online at all?
I do not play online, no. I have had a friendly game here in town where I take people that basically don't know how to play and I teach them.
We have a small poker community that plays irregularly now. We played straight for 2 years or so, but we do it on Friday nights sometimes. Okay. So if you're ever interested, we can get you connected in.
As if
I've been a part of it once in a while lately.
Nick, I'm a neuroradiologist.
Okay.
So I read X-rays, CTs, MRIs of the brain and spine, and I do some minimally invasive surgery.
Okay.
Okay.
I have the coolest partner ever. Hopefully you ask medical something, Nick, because between the two of us.
The entire medical game. The whole thing.
All right, Nick, go ahead and get us rolling here.
All right, you're warming up Chris for today. I originally had a different one, but then when I went to research it, I found out that there is, believe it or not, no like standard good source for the information. Originally, I wanted to do the top 20 selling jerseys in the NFL this year.
Okay.
I thought that would be a good round, right? Like you could see, this person was number one, and that where did Travis Kelce go based on the Taylor Swift thing, and so many good angles of it. Problem is, if you go to the NFLshop.com, they have statistics, but 3 times on their homepage are contradictory lists. So I went to a different page, which had a 4th list, and I went to another page, which had a 5th list, and there's no good source for that information. So I went with something that somebody else gave me, and I'll let you guess who it was. The Beatles hold the record for the most #1 Billboard songs at 20.
Beatles. Is this Carmella?
No, it's Will Dennison.
Fair.
I would like you, please, to name one, Jonathan.
You said, okay, I ignored what you said. I just heard Beatles. Top like number ones?
Yep, Beatles number ones.
I feel like I've done this recently.
I feel like there's more than 20, too, but
there is only 20.
Okay, I'm going to go with Hey Jude.
Hey Jude is number 16 on the list. Good guess. Riley, you're up next.
I'm not sure. I can name a Beatles song. Go Left at Albuquerque. I don't know.
Left at Albuquerque is not on the list. GK.
How about I Want to Hold Your Hand?
I Want to Hold Your Hand. Number 1 on the list. 7 weeks at number 1 starting February 1st of 1964. Great answer.
Dang.
Zahkia.
8 days a week.
8 days a week. Number 7 on the list. 2 weeks at number 1 in 1965. Good job. Bryson.
Love Me Do.
Love Me Do. Number 4, 1 week at number 1 in 1964. Back to the top with Jonathan.
I'll take A Hard Day's Night. Been working like a dog.
A Hard Day's Night. Number 5 on the list with 2 weeks at number 1. Riley.
Sgt. Pepper's.
Sgt. Pepper's is not on the list. Was never number 1.
Though. It was a good guess.
Yeah. GK.
Penny Lane is in my ears and in my heart.
Penny Lane, number 13 on the list. Good job. Zahkia.
Hello, Goodbye.
Ooh, I love that one.
Hello. Hey, goodbye. Hello, Goodbye. Number 15. Bryson.
With a little help from my friends.
Oh, good one.
Y'all are moving too fast for me.
You're moving too slow for us, Nick.
A little help from my friends. Not on the list.
Really?
Yeah. Jonathan.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Number 2 on the list. 2 weeks at number 1 in 1964.
Is
Riley.
it ordered by release date or is it ordered by weeks?
Release date.
Must have been. I'm like, number one does not mean number one here.
No. Although 7 weeks at number one technically does mean number one here. Their first one spent 7 weeks at number one, which was the longest on the list.
Yeah, they were cannibalizing themselves with these a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Riley.
Oh, gosh. I just heard an episode where you guys were going through songs with people's names in them, and I'm trying to think of some, and oh, good Lord.
You got this.
No. Billy's Long Walk Home.
Billy's Long Walk Home. Not
Take
on the
long
list.
Walk home. Take the long.
Not a Beatles guy.
GK.
Twist and Shout? Is that the name of that one? Didn't they? Right?
Chuck Berry.
Twist
They
and
did do
Shout.
a twist and
Twist
shout.
and Shout. Come on, come on,
Twist and Shout.
baby.
Not on the list.
The cover, maybe.
Zakia.
All You Need Is Love.
All You Need Is Love. 1967. 1 week at number one. Excellent job. Bryson.
Man, I know this isn't going to be a number one, but I can't pass up the chance to say Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Not on the list.
I thought that was an Elton John song.
Jonathan, last time through.
You know, Nick, I think I need some help.
Help. I need
somebody.
3 weeks at number one in 1965. Good job.
Very nice.
Riley.
Yeah, I got nothing. I can't even make anything up.
All right.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: do you want us to skip you for now, and then we can get back to you?
I get the sense that he doesn't want you to get back to him.
All right, GK.
All right, I'm going to regret not doing this. So I know this is not an answer, but I really want to say this publicly. I am the walrus.
Cuckoo. I am the walrus. Not on the list.
Negative.
Zakia.
I've got a few here. So Riley, would you like me to insert one for you? Okay.
Yes.
So for Riley, I'm going to guess my mom's favorite and say Let It Be.
Let It Be.
It'd be hilarious if it was
1970.
I mean, if it had been wrong, that would have been poetic.
Not my mama. And for me, I'm going to say Come Together.
Yeah. Come Together is number 18. So 18 and 19 on that turn. Good work. And then Bryson, you're up last.
Zakia, can I get a little help on this one? It's one of their earliest hits, and it's something like Love Me, Love You.
That is
Are you saying Love Me Do?
Yep.
Like
No, it's a different one. It's
Love
not
Me, Love
Love
You.
Me Do. Yeah.
Yeah, that does ring a bell, but I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to go with Love Me, Love You.
Love Me, Love You is not on the list.
And may not actually be a Beatles song.
Oh, is Imagine a song?
Imagine
John
is a
Lennon.
song.
By a Beatle, but one.
It is by a Beatle, and it did go number one, but it is not a Beatles number one.
I should get points for being pretty close.
I think
I got
you
a
get
Beatle
5
member.
cool points.
Right. All over that one.
So, a couple more, Nick, just for throwing them out there.
Yeah.
A Day in the Life, was that a number one?
Day in the Life is not a number one.
Strawberry Fields?
Strawberry Fields not a number one.
Eleanor Rigby?
Eleanor Rigby not a number one.
I'm glad I didn't answer any of those.
What about the Long and Winding Road?
Long and Winding Road was their last number one in 1970.
Yeah. I
Is Long Day's Night a song?
Long Day's Night is a song, not a number one.
I have to say Yellow Submarine.
Yellow Submarine is not one.
All right, what do we have that is one?
So I think it's time at this point to get back to Riley.
Get back! Get back!
Long Day's Night, and I've been working like a dog or something like that.
Hard Day's
Night.
Yeah. Get Back was number 17 in 1969. Come Together was also 1969. All You Need Is Love, 1967.
I said these.
We said those.
Come Together.
Oh, you
All
did say
You Need
Come
Is Love?
Together. Sorry, I didn't delete that one.
I
All You Need Is Love. I didn't delete that one. All right, Paperback Writer in 1966. We Can Work It Out in 1966.
I love that one.
The one I thought everybody would get, but nobody did, was Yesterday. 1965. Ticket to Ride in 1965. I Feel Fine in 1964. And the one of the early ones, Can't Buy Me Love. And that's it. Those are your 20 Beatles songs.
There you go. Thank you very much, Mr. Nick.
Yeah.
I hope all of us are sufficiently warmed up. Riley, what's going on?
My girlfriend is going to be so upset. There's a book up here, the Ultimate Beatles Encyclopedia.
That sounds like a good read.
I think Nick has that in his
Beatles fan.
library too.
Yeah, it's right. It's this one right here.
Yeah, sure.
Mine's a real book.
I'm a real book. All right, guys, this is going to be episode number 467. That means we are on our patron feed. I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons. You guys are absolutely the reason that we are able to do this, and we love you for it. So thank you so much for being here. We have a fantastic game for you today. It is going to be Jonathan, Riley, and GK versus Zahkia and Bryson with Nick hosting. And it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
First and foremost, what I want to do in this game is something slightly different than what I normally do. Instead of thanking the authors of the questions as we go question by question, I'm just going to put about a big, giant blanket thank you for David Avalafia, who wrote about half this game. So just keep in mind, if I don't credit a question writer, it's probably a David question. So thank you, David, so much.
Thank you. What is that? About 10 questions. Thank you. Oh, we hated that one. No, thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Ooh, bad one. But thank you for the other 3.
There you go. So yeah, it's every number 1 question of every round, the entirety of round 6, the midpoint, and it's a lot.
Wow.
He did a great job. Yeah, I asked the group for I'm like, hey, anybody have any questions? And he goes, here's 20. And I'm like, most of these are amazing. I'm going to use them all in the same game.
Sometimes that's the way it be.
Yep. All
By
right,
the way,
round
that
1.
would be a Beatles song. If the Beatles were around in the 90s or 2000s, The Way It Be would have absolutely been a Beatles song.
Produced by Timbaland, who did The Way I Are.
Yes, it's a sequel.
Sung by will.i.am.
My God.
And Apu D.
All right, round 1, question number 1. Your category is the Big D.
Oh, God. Okay.
Phraseology.
I went to school and I got the big D.
Yep. In 1970.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
In 1970, which U.S. city was awarded the 1976 Winter Olympics? It would have been a huge strain on the endurance of the competitors because of the altitude, but did not happen as the citizens of the city rejected the referendum for the needed funding. The only time a city awarded an Olympics has ended up rejecting them. Which city am I referring to?
Is it the only time? What about the St. Louis Chicago snafu back in the 1904, something like that?
That was before the IOC actually awarded the Olympics. This is the only time they said, it's going to be in this city. And then the city went, no, thanks.
Okay.
We would like to lock in.
All right. That means that Jonathan's team can talk out loud.
Yeah, guys. So both GK and Riley said Denver? And I mean, I don't have anything better than that. It's high altitude. If you're going to say a high altitude city in the U.S. that's big enough for an Olympics, Denver, right? Yeah. Do y'all have any other thoughts?
I mean, I was thinking Zurich, Switzerland, but that's Zurich, Switzerland's, not
right. It did
US.
say U.S. city.
My best friend's a Broncos fan, and I hear a lot of Denver stuff. And for some reason, I don't know. That's what I hear when I hear that question.
I'm good with it. I think we go Denver. I like
Nothing better.
Cool.
Let's do it. We'll lock in Denver.
They're saying Denver. Kia and Bryson.
We definitely locked into the high altitude right off the bat. But Zahkia was like, the category is the Big D. It's got to be Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, good call.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know it's not Detroit, so Denver.
Your answer is Dallas.
Both teams said Denver. The correct answer is Denver. Great job. All right, round 1, question number 2. This question comes to us from Will Dennison, so thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
Category is I Knew It Was Him. John Cazale starred in 5 and only 5 feature films in his entire career. All 5 were released in the 1970s, and amazingly, all 5 were nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture, with 3 of them winning the Oscar. He played the same character in 2 of the 5 films. What is the name of that character?
Oh, geez.
What was the category name again?
I knew it was him.
Write it down. Write it down. Don't say it out loud. Are you even reading the stuff that I'm writing above?
No, because I was in my own brain.
In these games, you need to pay attention to what your teammates are saying, too.
That's usually helpful. I need to have the lock emoji, Jonathan. That just needs to happen now.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so we want to lock in?
Touchy.
Sure.
Yep, I think, yes. All right, we're locked in.
All right, they are locked in. Zahkia and Bryson, you can talk out loud.
5 films, all released in the 1970s. All 5 of them. So 3 of them were, all 5 were nominated for Best Picture. 3 of them won the Best Picture Oscar, and he played the same character in 2 of them. What is the one character?
I asked you first.
Yeah, I know. So I think this is like a franchise. It has to be a franchise, right?
See, I don't think that it is. I think that the 2 where he played the same character is a franchise. And then the other 3 are other random films this guy just happened to be in. And so take like The Godfather, for example. He might have been one of the consigliari, you know, like the older guy in the back who said the whole keep your friends close, enemies closer. I know that was De Niro, but just the idea that he was the guy who was like, you know, can you save me, Michael? He's like, no, you got to go. And then the other 3 could have been, you know, Jaws or Star Wars or Close Encounters. Because he wouldn't have had the same actor playing 2 different roles in the same thing. So it's not a 5-film franchise. It's a 2-film franchise and 3 other things. The problem is I can only name the major characters from The Godfather. And that's where I'm kind of leaning with this 2-film thing. And I can't name anybody but the major actors, you know, your De Niro, your whatever.
I'm with you. I am not a Godfather gal.
I feel like we've got everything we need to answer this, except the answer.
Except the answer, right? Righto. And then, like, the category, I'm sure, is a hint, but I have nothing. I knew it was him.
You know what? Let's just go.
Fredo? Fredo.
Love it.
All right, they are locking in with Fredo. Jonathan, Grace, and Riley, what did you say?
I hate you so much right now.
So we noticed that the name Casali is very Italian. It's like, it's Casali. So we're like, we had the same parsing of the franchise idea. It's like, they're not all one franchise. It's 2 of these movies are a franchise. And I was pointing out, hey, this is Italian, blah, blah, blah. And GK reacts really, she's looking in her own mind. It's like, oh, I think this is The Godfather. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. We're talking about Italian movies in the 70s. Of course it's The Godfather. Come on, keep going with that. And then it's like, okay, well, it's probably one of the brothers. And which of the brothers dies in the second movie? And that's why he wouldn't appear in the third movie, right? That's kind of the thought process that was happening there. We threw out Sonny first, but I was like, I think Sonny's James Caan. And so we landed on Fredo.
All right, so both teams said Fredo with supporting roles in The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. A role in The Conversation, which was nominated in 1974 against The Godfather 2. He was also in Dog Day Afternoon in 1975, his third time with Al Pacino, and The Deer Hunter in 1978. Your correct answer is Fredo.
Hey!
Good work.
You guys, so at what point did the word Fredo, because in your conversation, Zahkia, you said right-o like 10 seconds before going with Fredo. Did saying right-o lead you to Fredo?
No, I knew Fredo was a character in The Godfather, and I don't know exactly who plays him. So, yeah, him.
Well, I think they incorrectly said the category name. The category was, I knew it was him.
Yeah, and
they said, I know it was you. And then they went, oh, you want to go with Fredo?
Yeah.
I finally got off the conciliary to the brothers, but did I just pull a Jonathan?
Yes.
You did.
100%.
That was 13 seconds after I asked for an answer. So that's about as late as it can happen.
It was horrifying.
All right, round 1. Question number 3. Your category is Not a Quiet Home. Prior to 2020, the longest work of written literature was a 3.5 million word fanfic about Super Smash Brothers. Absolutely destroying that record at 31 million words is a fanfic about which Nickelodeon television show? About a bombastic family of 11 children that debuted in 2017 and is set to premiere its 7th season in 2024.
Paste it, please.
Yep.
Bryson, do you want to lock in?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right, lock.
All right, Jonathan, Grace, and Riley, you can talk out loud.
I just saw a TikTok about this the other day, and they were reading passages from the Super Mario to compare it to the other one, and
I mean, Riley and I are both not of the generation where we're going to name a Nickelodeon show from 2017.
Mm-mm.
So you're watching of a TikTok because you're not in that generation either, frankly. So
No, but I worked at a voiceover studio where we did closed captioning and audio description for Nickelodeon shows.
okay, well then you should know this.
Yeah.
Come on, get off beep and answer this question.
But now this is entirely on you.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Bombastic. Okay.
Yeah, bombastic is 100% a clue. 11 children.
What are synonyms?
Is there something like called the category was Not a Quiet Home or something like that. It was specifically Not a Quiet Home. Is there something like the Loud Family or the Banging Family or
The Yellers?
Old Yeller's parents or is there, I mean,
the Young Yellers.
Is there a Proud Family? I feel like there's something called a Proud Family.
That was on Disney back in like the mid 2000s.
All right, well, you stop thinking of Disney stuff and you start thinking of Nickelodeon stuff.
Is there like some update of the lady with the kids in the shoe?
Right.
Yeah, that's honestly where my thing.
Bombastic can mean explosive. It can mean loud. It can mean expansive. It can mean like a heartbeat, like something fireworks or music, like drums, loud, explosive. Right, any of those words lead to a viable answer. What's a family? What's a word that can be used as a name that also means loud?
Don't know. I'm thinking bang is in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The
Bang
word
bang shrimp.
bang. I don't.
Did you just say bang bang shrimp?
I don't want to say what came to my mind.
I've been distracted by Nick's in-place dance for a while.
Loud House?
Loud House.
We said loud the whole time, and you're like, now it's clicking for you? We've said loud like for 2 minutes.
Shut up.
All right, we're going to say Loud House.
I need more coffee. Hold on.
You're going to say Loud House. Okay, Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
Well, I will start with the note that bombastic to me will always mean Shaggy, like the song. So.
Call me Mr. Bombastic.
Mr. Bombastic. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's not the answer. Bryson and I
had absolutely no idea whatsoever.
This is a no idea for us. I think his kids are the wrong age, and my kid is a little too young. So we went with the only Nickelodeon show that I can name, which is Paw Patrol, and they're a pup family. That would be a loud house, and sound like Paw Patrol fan fiction sounds like torture. So there.
Paw Patrol fan fiction does
31
sound like
million word Paw Patrol fan fiction.
Yeah, it's extensive.
Bark, 31
and it's still I believe it's still going. Like they just announced like chapter 1041. 1041. All right. One team said Paw Patrol. The other team said Loud House. If it's not a quiet home, it's a loud house.
Yes.
Okay.
Loud house.
Well done, GK.
I remember.
Nice job.
I remember doing the closed captioning for like the first episode before I went back to school.
She worked for the show.
I worked for Nickelodeon, technically, not the show. But oh my god, I remember doing. And the government denied. Oh.
All right, round two, question number one.
Hold on. I just want you to know, GK, that if If you had not pulled this answer after we said, hey, it's probably loud something, loud family was one of my suggestions. If you had not pulled this and had worked on the show, I would never, and I mean never, let you live that down.
Next question. What is GK's middle name?
Kelly. Why? Grace Kelly.
It is
GK.
Truly. I'm so happy for you that you didn't make me torture you for the rest of your life with this.
Thank you.
After round number 1, your scores, the team of Jonathan, GK, and Riley is 30 points to Zahkia and Bryson's 20.
All right.
Good game so far. Round 2, question number 1. The category, and I'm including this category now in every game I write for the foreseeable future, so you might as well start preparing for it. Your category is Taylor.
Oh, God.
With an I or a Y?
With a Y. It's exactly what you think it's about. On February 4th, 2024, Taylor Swift set a record by winning her 4th Grammy for Album of the Year. Previously, she had been tied with 2 other solo performers with 3 wins. Name either of these 3-time winners. And for a bonus 2 points, name them both.
I think we're going to lock in.
All right, they're locking in.
Yeah, I mean, so we're talking a lot, right? We threw out names like Adele, Beyonce, Madonna, Stevie Wonder, Elton John. I could be way wrong. I feel like Beyonce might have won Album of the Year once, but I feel like she wins most of her stuff for singles more than albums. Adele only has 3 or 4 albums. I don't think that 3 of them already won Album of the Year. So I think we're looking older. I think we're looking at people who have a full career behind them, or most of a career behind them, right? And so people like Madonna, I think that's very possible. Elton John, I don't know if he was getting the awards for his big albums in the 70s, so I don't think him. But
what about
Stevie
Prince?
Wonder?
Did he win a lot?
Prince didn't win a lot. He had 1 or 2 big albums, but I don't think he won that. Like Paul Simon's in the same boat. He definitely won 1. What about Michael Jackson?
That's what I was thinking too.
Did he win Grammys?
I think he won for singles. I think he's another singles guy. That I don't think he ever won for anything outside of Thriller.
At least 1 of them. That's not 3 though. So you had Stevie Wonder, I think, won. I remember somebody, maybe it was Paul Simon, in their acceptance speech, thanking Stevie Wonder for not putting out an album this year so that he could, I think he won like 2 in a row, and I think Stevie Wonder is a right answer.
Okay.
Somebody literally made the joke about thanking Stevie for not putting an album out so that somebody else could win.
Okay, so then do we want to go with Stevie for our primary and Madonna for our bonus?
I'd be okay with that.
You think
not Neo-Nisi? How did I say that?
Neo-Nisi? Neo-Nonce?
I don't think it's Beyonce. I could be wrong, but if y'all want to, we can trade out, but I do feel Stevie should be the main answer.
It's fine with me.
Which one do you want to do? Madonna or Beyonce for the backup?
Madonna's fine.
Madonna.
Okay, we'll say Stevie Wonder and Madonna.
They're saying Stevie Wonder and Madonna. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
I have a little bit of knowledge on this because of all the Taylor discourse lately. Beyonce has never won Album of the Year. Ever.
And she has
the most
ton of Grammys.
She's won the most Grammys, but has never won Album of the Year. Michael Jackson has only won once. And because of that, and then that whole Paul Simon, Stevie Wonder thing, I thought, Stevie Wonder was a name that I kept hearing mentioned.
It was Paul Simon who said that?
It was Paul Simon.
Okay, cool.
So we went with Stevie Wonder for the main. For our bonus, I was just thinking, I watched the We Are the World documentary recently because I freaking love it. And there's a heartwarming scene with Stevie Wonder and Bob Dylan. And I'm like, Bobby D sounds like, that kind of heady Album of the Year type of guy. Maybe they gave it to him 3 times. I could see that. However, as we're doing and thinking, I don't know if that's right because I'm doing math in my head. And I know Alison Krauss has won 27 Grammys. That's a lot of Grammys. And just thinking numbers wise, it's possible that 3 of them for Album of the Year, but I don't know if it's just her by herself or her and her bluegrass brand. So we said Stevie Wonder and Bob Dylan.
All right. So both teams said Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder had the Album of the Year with Inner Visions in 1973, fulfilling this first finale in 1974.
And
he didn't put an album out. Yeah, he didn't put an album out in 1975, and Paul Simon one was still crazy after all these years. And in 1976, Stevie Wonder put out another album, Songs in the Key of Life, which won Album of the Year. He won 3 out of 4 in a row.
Yeah.
So Stevie Wonder is your correct answer. Let's see. Madonna has not won Album of the Year.
Wow.
Ever. Bob Dylan has won it twice, kind of.
Wow.
Kind of.
Kind of. So he won with Time Out of Mind in 1997 and won in 1972 the Concert for Bangladesh, which was George Harrison, Ringo Starr, Bob Dylan. It was kind of an amalgamation album. So, yeah, that's the way that goes. The other person that has 3 Album of the Years is Frank Sinatra. So Sinatra is your answer. So, as is always the perfect scenario in my world, both teams get the answer correct and the bonus brigade gets nothing.
Oh, God, you're so rude to the bonus brigade. Good job, both teams. Good job getting Stevie Wonder there. That's not an easy question.
Mm-hmm.
I was just the king of sitting here.
Round 2, question number 2. This question comes to us from Sarah Kaplan. So thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sarah.
Category is literature.
Literature.
Slightly after January 30th of 2024, the stunning 3rd book in the sexy, action-packed Crescent City series, House of Flame and Shadow, became the 8th book by which author to reach number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list, joining books from her Throne of Glass and ACOTAR series.
Meow meow! Meow meow! I don't care if I spelled her name wrong. Meow meow, locking in, trust.
Yeah, no, I said the same thing. I'm 100% on that.
So, dragon smut is not my bag. We've established. Bryson.
I'm sorry, but that is the funniest thing I've heard today.
It's a whole genre. It's making billions.
Yes, we've established that dragon smut is a genre of literature that is well established and very popular. However, it is ubiquitous, and it's enough that, like, it's in OQL questions, I think. I don't know. So there's a name like Sarah Maas or something like that, Maas. And I know she wrote, like, I want to say, like, A Quart of Wine and Roaches, but that is not.
You know what? Close enough. It's close enough.
I'd read that.
Those roaches be getting drunk, yo.
It's the roses, like roses and something.
Did you say roses? I heard roaches.
I heard roaches.
I did say roaches at first. I absolutely said roaches, but I think it's roses.
Yeah. Don't drink anything they give you under the mountain.
Definitely be box wine.
The whole thing is just not me. That name jumped out at me, and it's the only dragon smut writer that I can think of right now. So
I'm good with it. Let's go.
We're locking in with Sarah Maas.
Sarah Maas. All right, Jonathan,
You're
GK, and Riley.
GK wants to talk.
I have issues. Because Sarah J. Maas does not write dragon smut. She writes fae smut, okay? Let's...
No dragons in Sarah Maas's stuff.
There
It's
are
all smut
no
to me.
dragons in her smut, except for a couple times. But anyway, but no, Sarah J. Maas is absolutely the right answer. And you're thinking of A Court of Thorn and Roses, our ACOTAR, her book talk. So I don't know. So yeah, no, it's Sarah J. Maas, and ACOTAR is absolutely awesome. Throne of Glass is awesome, but a slow burn. And I am in the middle of the 3rd book, and I had to put my book in the freezer because it's so tense. It's so tense.
Yeah.
In the freezer.
All right.
Joey Tribbiani forever. Sorry.
So what was your official answer?
Sarah J. Maas.
Sarah J. Maas. All right, so both teams said Sarah Maas. I finished A Court of Mist and Fury last night, like 11 o'clock-ish, right after I finished writing this game, and I am definitely not 280 pages into Wings and Ruin at this point. So your correct answer is Sarah J. Maas. Very good to both teams.
So if any of these dragon fae smut writers want to incorporate this into a dystopia to utopia fiction. I'd read that.
Fourth Wing.
I like. Oh, okay.
Fourth Wing.
Yeah,
I've heard of Fourth Wing, but
which Chris is currently reading. Chris is currently reading Fourth Wing, and
Chris
I'm not
who?
sure how I feel about that. Chris
Hollister?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's not appropriate for Chris.
That's kind of my thought too.
That's like letting your kids watch something they shouldn't watch.
Right. Chris, reach out to me. I want to have a discussion about all of this.
There are whole chapters you're going to want to skip, dude.
That's exactly what he's doing from what I hear.
So the whole dragon smut thing came up because of Fourth Wing, but yeah, okay. All right. I'll take the reco.
Yeah, no, if you're looking...
For what it's worth, the dragons are not actually the smutty group in the dragon smut. They just, it's smut and there happens to be dragons.
Oh, I'm definitely
That makes it way less creative.
Oh, no, Jonathan, you've read Fourth Wing. There is dragon smut in Fourth Wing.
No, it's suggested. It's not.
It's
graphic.
off. It's closed
the
door.
The smut is graphic.
Iron
So
Flame
there's
is
a lot less discretion of penis bones, is what I'm hearing.
Iron Flame, the second one. That
Also read it. Doesn't have dragon graphics.
It's closed door. It's all closed door. All right, round 2, question number 3. Category is the superb owl.
Okay.
It was announced that the NFL is spending nearly $1 million on which crucial aspect of this year's Super Bowl? From Super Bowl I in 1967 all the way through the late 90s, the NFL averaged about $1,000 per year on this aspect, and the whole process took about a week. Now, the NFL has spent almost 2 years preparing for this moment and is getting the aspect imported from Modesto, California.
The aspect?
What crucial aspect of this year's Super Bowl?
Oh.
What thing?
Oh.
All right. We're going to lock in.
All right. They're locked in. Jonathan, GK, and Riley.
I'm going to go back to our conversation about turf because I pulled us away from it saying, wait, in the past, they didn't do anything with the turf that would cost $1,000 and you can't grow turf in a week. You can't grow grass in a week. So that can't be it. But I'm thinking now about turf again and paint. You could absolutely paint a field for the Super Bowl in 1 week and spend about $1,000 on it. And if you were to grow grass somewhere and pre-paint it and pre-do all of that work to get it ready, maybe it is turf, but it includes like the paint. What do you think about that?
Well, I guess if we go that route, do we just say turf, and then if he needs something more specific?
I mean, he hears what we're saying. He knows what we mean when we're saying it. Do y'all want to try that? We talked about rings, but that's not a crucial aspect. I talked about halftime shows and stages. That doesn't feel right.
The coin was the other big one.
Yeah.
Because medals are super hard to get, but Modesto kind of rules that out.
You don't import a coin, though. You ship
You import
a
the
coin.
medal. You import the medal, though.
I don't think that's it.
All right. Need an answer.
Let's go with turf.
Okay.
All right. We're going to say turf.
All right. They said turf. Zahkia and Bryson. What did you say?
We had a very similar conversation where turf kind of jumped out right at the beginning, imported, takes a long time. And, a week, $1,000, you just seed the grass or whatever. We threw around other ideas. Halftime show came up. That's going to be way more expensive than that. Parking came up as an option, but that's not something you can import from Modesto, California. So we went with turf.
All right. Both teams said turf. Both teams are correct. The $1 million on the field for this year's Super Bowl. 2 years growing the grass in Modesto, California.
Yep.
About 4 months ago, it was imported to Vegas, where they ship it in and out of the building to get sunlight and protect it from the cold at night. And one of those never been walked on kind of things. And $1 million and 2 years preparing for this. And Jonathan, you're right. Previously, they used the grass on the field that was at whatever field they were playing on. They just
grow
repainted
anything
it for $1,000. Yeah,
exactly. There's no grass. You can't grow grass in a week, so it's just doing something to it, painting it green.
Yep. So, yeah, technically the answer I had was the field, parentheses, grass, parentheses, turf. Any of those are acceptable.
Awesome.
After round number 2, Jonathan, GK, and Riley have 60 points to Zahkia and Bryson's 50.
Cool.
Oh, wait. You said 60? Oh, after round 3.
60 to 50. After round 2, it's 60 to 50.
We missed a question, didn't we?
No, you did not. Denver, Fredo, The Loud House, Stevie Wonder, Moss, and Turf. You missed the bonus brigade.
We're just straight up almost missing every question and then getting them right.
Right. There was a game a couple of weeks ago where, Jonathan, I feel like you flipped a coin and lost every coin flip.
Yeah.
This is the episode that makes up for that episode. All right.
We imported that coin from Modesto, by the way.
That's correct. Round 3, question number 1. The category is Alpine folk music.
I got a pre-guess. Oh, I got a pre-guess.
Huh? Okay.
I got to see what this pre-guess is.
All right. I got my pre-guess in.
You'll hear it later.
Little Debbie's calls them Swiss rolls. Hostess calls them ho-hos. What is the version made by Drake's Cakes called?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
Lock it in.
Lock.
All right. Jonathan is in with his pre-call answer. Zahkia and Bryson, you can talk out loud.
So Swiss rolls.
Ho-hos.
Little pieces of chocolate wrapped up, white cream in between, chocolate layer on top.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking something like pinwheels?
Is that Alpine folk music, though?
That's you're right. Oof.
Alpine folk music, like
Alpine folk music is yodeling.
that's like
Yodels isn't bad.
yodelos.
No, just yodels. Yodels.
Yodels.
Yeah, I have a vague impression of having seen that at the checkout aisle.
Okay, cool.
So it's a wild guess, but that it fits the clues and the criteria.
Cool. Fun fact, I am not a big snack cake eater after I mono ate zebra cakes in high school. I just stopped and never looked back. So yeah, I'll go with you on this. Let's say the yodels.
They're locked in with yodels. Jonathan, GK, and Riley.
So you said Alpine folk music, and before hearing the question, immediately in my mind, I'm like, we locked in with yodels.
So both teams locked in with yodels. Your correct answer is yodels.
Okay.
Nice.
That is called good category writing.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely saved me.
Round 3, question number 2. The category is movies.
Movies.
Which word appears in the titles of both the 2015 and 2016 movies that won the Academy Award for Best Picture? And for clarification, the 2015 is the 88th Academy Awards and the 2016 is the 89th Academy Awards.
And for clarification, the name of the movie in 2015 was...
Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, no. Ignore the all caps. I'm not yelling at you.
Not at all. That
I think
communicates excitement.
Yeah. We can lock, I think. Are you good with that?
Good.
All right.
Okay, so we're in the discussion about when was La La Land Moonlight. I thought 2017, but it sounds like you're saying 2019. That is the one. So yeah, 2019 then would have been Moonlight as the winner. So we need to go 3 to 4 years earlier than that. Can you guys name any highly nominated movies, possible Best Picture winners? Because if we can get one of them with the word, maybe we can figure it out. Mad Max Fury Road. What grouping was that? Was that later?
Yeah, no, that was like 2015, 2016, but I don't think it won.
No, it didn't win.
Picture.
But I'm trying. If you can think of other things that were nominated in a given year, maybe you can think of the right answer. You know, just as a place, just as a point in time, The Avengers was 2014. That's when it was released. So Black Panther, I think, might have been a nominated movie in one of these 2 years.
That was 2018. Was Black Panther?
It was 2018.
Yeah, because it was the same year as the Endgame, not Endgame.
Okay.
My whole sense of time is just screwy. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We got to try and hone in on those years, though. What The Shape of Water was the same year as the Moonlight and the La La Land.
Yeah, that's 2019, I think. 2016 is I want to say it's 2016 is definitely, Mad Max was definitely nominated and it swept the Oscars for everything else except Best Picture. I remember that because it was very disappointing because we were all like Valhalla. Ah! So
that year, I remember there being 10 nominees. It was a big group. And one of them was animated.
So for whatever reason, I feel like Lady Bird was somewhere around there too.
Lady Bird is later.
Is it later? Okay.
Lady Bird's later because, so another reference point. We started Trivial Warfare in 2015. February of 2015 was the first episode. So if we talked about a movie on Trivial Warfare and it wasn't me and Chris, it wasn't 2015. It was later. Lady Bird came later.
Was Spotlight 2016?
That's possible, yeah. That's totally possible.
I feel like Spotlight, because I remember everybody was upset Mad Max didn't make it, but Spotlight, like this random...
Not random.
This random movie. I mean, it felt like random because I was a giant Mad Max fan that Oscar year. I feel like Spotlight stole it from Mad Max.
Was that the movie with the priests or whatnot?
Yes.
Yeah, and I just don't...
So it could be, if you think it's that, then can you think of other movies with the word light or spot?
Moonlight, Spotlight, Moonlight. You said Moonlight was later though, right?
Yeah, Moonlight's definitely later.
Need an answer. That's 5 minutes.
I would say light. I know, because I know Spotlight. I'm pretty sure Spotlight took Mad Max's spot.
All right, we'll guess light.
All right, I said light. Zahkia and Bryson.
Okay. So 2016 is absolutely the Moonlight La La Land debacle.
2016?
Mm-hmm.
So then Moonlight and Spotlight could be right there.
Yeah, because Spotlight was 2015.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
We also said light.
Let's go, baby!
Wrong logic, but right answer. I'll take it.
All right. Both teams said light. Your correct answer, the 2015 88th Academy Award ceremony, which was held in 2016, was was Spotlight. And 2016, the 89th, held in 2017, is Moonlight. Your correct answer is light. Good work.
The beginning of the conversation, I'm like, I feel like Moonlight was like 2017. So we were there for a little bit and just moved off of it.
The Shape of Water was 2017.
Yeah, it was all okay.
Right. That was honestly, you were sitting there. Riley was like, "What about Spotlight? What about Moonlight?" at right there.
Oh,
at the end. He was like, "Moonlight, Spotlight, Moonlight, Spotlight," and you're like, "I don't know. It could be anything." Round 3, question number 3. This is my favorite question of the round. Category is, I was told there would be no math, and in parentheses, beep you, Brian Nash.
Wow. How do you really feel, David?
No, Bing Cow.
Bing? Bing loves math.
From Bing. Yeah. In Texas Hold'em, without knowledge of any of the other players' hands, what are the chances of winning the hand to the nearest percent if you are drawing to 1 out on the river?
Doesn't that depend on the number of players in the hand?
Not if you have no knowledge of the other players' hands.
Are you sure you have all the factors involved?
I'm 100% positive.
1 out on the river implies that you think you have the best hand. You do not know if you have the best hand, so you may not actually have an out.
Drawing to 1 out on the river means there is 1 card that will help you.
That's right. But that doesn't mean it's the best hand. Okay, so that's what you're dealing with without knowledge of the other. You think you have 1 out.
It doesn't matter if you think you do or not. You have 1 out. There is 1 card in the deck of cards that will help you win the hand.
That'll help you make your hand. You have no idea if you're going to win or lose. You're drawing to a hand. Whether that is the trips or straight or a flush or whatever, you're drawing to a hand that you think is a winner.
You are conflating what you think to what is reality. I'm saying in reality, when you watch a poker show and they have the statistics at the bottom of the page, that's the chance you're going to win the hand.
This is the chances of making the hand you want, not the chances of winning the hand.
Whatever way you need to think of it.
All right, so officially... The way the question is written, I feel, is misleading. We're going to answer it as if making your hand equals winning, but this is the chances of making your hand. You have no idea if you can win the hand or not.
We're going to lock in.
They're locked in. That means, Jonathan, you can talk out loud.
All right. Okay. That's fine. I think it's the percentage they're looking for, I think, is 2%. I think that's what they want us to answer, regardless of whether or not they're writing the question correctly. Because if you watch a poker game and you have one out, they put a 2% on the screen. It's 1 out of 52.
Yeah, that was my logic. 1 out of 52 is 2%. If you round.
My problem with the question has nothing to do with whether or not I think I can get it right. It is just about whether or not we're asking for what we're trying to get. So do y'all want to say 2%?
And you wanted the rounded percent, though, right, Nick? The whole rounded percent?
Rounded to the nearest percent, yes.
Yeah, 2%.
Yep, 2%.
All right, they said 2%. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
We may have screwed the pooch on this one. I was thinking in terms of drawing to an inside straight. Basically, you're 1 out on the last card. And so you're looking for a 7, which would be 1 in 13, which is 7.5%. But the idea of being 1 out, say you need the ace of spades to make a royal flush, would be closer to 2%. So, but we locked in with 7.5, 7.7.
Okay, so I asked for a rounded to the nearest percent, and you answered 7.7.
Rude.
All right, so
I am technically correct.
We were doing a fraction 1 out of 13. So
Right.
yeah, whatever.
All right, Zahkia and Bryson said 7.7%. Jonathan, GK, and Riley said 2%. All right, so in Texas Hold'em, without the knowledge of any other player's hands, you know that you have the 2 cards in front of you, and you know the 4 cards on the board. That means you know 6 out of the 52 cards in the deck, which leaves 46 cards. 1 out of 46 is 2.2%. Rounded to the nearest whole, your correct answer is 2%.
Yay!
Yeah.
You don't feel good about it?
No.
After round number 3, Jonathan, GK, and Riley have a perfect game at 90 points to Zahkia and Bryson's 70. Both teams are doing extremely well.
You just curse them. Stop doing that to people. That's mean.
After somebody had a perfect game on me, I don't care.
Nick is still bitter about me answering all of his questions right with a lot of help from another
100%.
teammate.
I just got done listening to Nick's stretch of Talk to Me, or Things That Are Blank, where he lost all of them.
Yeah.
I won one of them.
No, you didn't.
I did. I won 1 of 3. 1 of 4. I was 1 in 3 on Things That Are Blank. Your midpoint comes to us from David Avalafia, just like most of this game. Category is Pandora's Box.
Ooh.
The story of Pandora's Box is well known. After the box was opened, all that was left was hope. There were 8 listed things that escaped from the box in the parable. For 4 points apiece, name 5 of them. And I will be extremely lax on interpretations here.
So synonyms are okay.
Yeah, anything that vaguely conveys the concept will be accepted. All right, 1 minute left.
We can go with your list, Jonathan, if Riley's cool with it.
Yep.
I'm happy with that. You can lock.
Yeah, I mean, the other stuff you're talking about may very well be right. I don't know. It may be that none of the things we're saying are right. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and lock it in.
Like, just as a catch-up, we're using lateral thinking of different other mythologies. And it's like, all these stuff kind of rhyme anyway. So we're pulling from different things, trying to come up with an answer. Bryson, take it away.
I remember, I'm almost positive that jealousy was in there. It was something that, like, I can picture from the illustrated book of Greek mythology I had when I was growing up. So we're thinking things that are like the 4 horsemen, wrath, pestilence, what have you. And but I don't think that death or war would be in there because they had their own gods. They had Ares and Hades. Those were actually part of Greek life. And then Zahkia had the great idea of the 7 deadly sins. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's perfect. Let's run down that way. So are you ready to lock in?
Well, what are we?
It's time, so
it is time.
You got to say you say your answer out loud when you're talking.
We have disease, famine, greed, jealousy, and sloth.
Okay. Yep.
They said disease, famine, jealousy, greed, and sloth. Jonathan, GK, and Riley, what did you say?
I think we're in the same kind of ballpark, but what I'm hoping, or what I'm guessing at, frankly, with hope being the thing left behind, is the Pandora story felt like it might be more internal emotions. And so we shied away from things like pestilence and famine and war because those are things that the world does as opposed to the thing that a human mind does. So we locked in wrath, fear, pride. What were the other ones? I don't have it up right
Jealousy.
now.
Jealousy and greed.
Yep. Wrath, fear, pride, jealousy, and greed.
So they said wrath, fear, pride, jealousy, and greed. The other team said famine, disease, jealousy, sloth, and greed. So we have a little bit of overlap between the two lists. The ones y'all didn't get, sorrow or sadness.
Oh, good job, Riley. We went away from that. That was right, though.
That was her.
That was me.
Oh, my bad. Good job, GK.
Bad job, Riley. You should have taken GK's answer and promoted it. Vice was one that nobody got. Madness, old age, and death.
So death was in there.
Death was in the box.
Hades is not the god of death. He's the god of the underworld. Very big difference in Greek mythology.
Huge.
But I did say, like, how do you get hope after death? But
So did we get any right? Or were those all of the answers?
Yeah, no, that was 5. That was 6. There are a handful, that was 5. There are a handful left. Both teams said greed. Greed is correct. Greed was also in the box and got out. Another one of the answers was violence. Violence was in the box. So wrath is going to get points here. And finally, disease was in the box. So disease gets points. So Jonathan, GK, and Riley had wrath and greed for a total of 8 points. And Zahkia and Bryson had disease and greed for a total of 8 points.
Sorry, guys. I led us in the direct wrong direction there. We could have had death and sorrow and disease, and I pushed us away from them.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, you pushed us away from death, sorrow, and disease. I'm sorry.
The point of Pandora's box, though, is that after all of the ills of the world were unleashed, there is always hope at the end of the day. So you shouldn't fret about the ills of the world, whether it be internal or external.
And that was my point of writing the question. What I thought was interesting was I feel like everybody knows hope is what was left, but nobody ever pays attention to what actually got out.
We specifically did not choose lust because no, it's ancient Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and it's not on the list. Yeah, it's not anywhere near on the list.
Interesting that madness is in there though. Like people were okay just saying, no, those people are crazy.
Exactly.
I'm surprised old age is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's inevitable.
So Pandora's box is supposed to be kind of the Greek version of the story of Adam and Eve, right? Before all these ills were unleashed onto the world was a utopia and perfect.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And actually, if you read Lore Olympus,
okay,
it technically takes place before Pandora opens the box.
Are there dragons in face?
No, it's Lore Olympus is a graphic novel comic type thing where it's about Hades and Persephone and their love story based on all this Greek mythology. It's actually really.
I just went and saw Hades Town last night. So that really fits in well with the story.
Yep.
All right, after the midpoint, your score is 98 for Jonathan, GK, and Riley, and 78 for Zahkia and Bryson. Still anyone's game. Round 4, question number 1. Category is slang. Slang. It is widely believed that the expression the bee's knees was coined, or at very least popularized, in the 1920s by cartoonist Tad Dorgan, who also gave us what other beastly phrase of similar meaning?
Oh.
I think that's the one that is actually used. What do y'all think? I mean, you want to disagree, agree, talk about it? Chatty.
Well, I've heard that one before. I've never heard hers before. So, in mine, I might have just made up because my cat walked in and
Oh, what about?
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna lock in.
So we came up with 2 phrases involving the same animal: the cat's meow or the cat's pajamas. We're trying to think of other animals, but like, I don't know, there's not like a dog's bone or...
The primacy of cartooning is it's cat, mouse, dog. You know, that's... Nick knows what I'm talking about.
That is 100%.
And it does say specifically cartoonist. So, yeah, I was doing dog, I was doing goat, doing horse, doing lamb, doing mouse, and I could not come up with anything better. I like cat's pajamas.
You're right. Okay. So you like pajamas more than meow?
I do, just because it's quaint.
Yeah. There's something about cat's pajamas that does feel a little bit more 1920s. But cat's meow makes meow meows like meow like we do here. But I'm totally cool with the pajamas because that feels like a surge type thing going on.
I like it. Lock it in.
All right.
Jonathan, GK, and Riley, what did you say?
So we had the same kind of breakdown. GK feels good about cat's pajamas. I feel better about cat's meow. I feel like cat's meow is the more popular phrase. It may be that it's cat's pajamas, but I feel like the cat's meow is a more well-known and well-used phrase. So we went with cat's meow, and I'll take my medicine if it's wrong, because GK would have had it.
I'll take my medicine if it's wrong too, though. Jonathan, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Okay, so one team said the cat's meow, the other one said the cat's pajamas. Oh man.
Nick, what did you do?
No, so the correct answer is the cat's pajamas. That is the correct answer.
Hey.
However, so the cat's pajamas, the origin popularized in the 1920s as part of the vocabulary of jazz age flappers and introduced by cartoonist Tad Dorgan in his comic strip Indoor Sports. The cat's meow, on the other hand, was only popularized in the 1920s and coined by American cartoonist Thomas Dorgan, not the same guy.
They're brothers?
They're not related.
You're sure?
Dorgan?
Tad and Thomas. Tad could be a nickname for Thomas.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same guy.
Wow. Because we were basing our answer based on Dorgan, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course. That absolutely had to be the concept. Hold on.
What?
Yeah, this is crazy.
That seems odd. Hold on, dude. No, the Wikipedia article, Thomas Aloysius Tad Dorgan. It was an American cartoonist. Guy? It's the same guy.
Hold on.
Tad is his initials. Thomas Aloysius Dorgan.
So they both technically are correct answers then, aren't they?
That's the way I'm leaning at this point.
Yeah.
That's kind of correct.
Technically correct.
I mean,
obviously, slang phrase that means the same thing. Both teams get credit. Cat's pajamas and cat's meow are both correct.
Bruh.
We're sitting over here like totally stressing about that, and completely unnecessary.
We should get bonus points for having both.
Yeah, no, that was one of those. I'm like, let me look up the origin of the cat's meow to show like what the difference is between the two, and then I'm like, oh no.
I'm on his Wikipedia page. Dorgan is generally credited with either creating or popularizing such phrases and expressions as dumbbell, for crying out loud, cat's meow and cat's pajamas, applesauce to mean nonsense, like Baby Herman and Roger Rabbit, applesauce.
Yep.
Cheaters for eyeglasses, skimmer for a hat, hard-boiled for tough and unsentimental, drugstore cowboy for a loafer or ladies' man. And a one-armed paper hanger for being overworked.
This guy invented the modern English language.
He really... his obituary credited him as the originator of 23 Skidoo, which our Gen Z folks, I think, are getting into, like Skibbity Skidoo, something like...
Skibbity toilet!
Skibbity toilet. It's an entirely different thing, yeah.
Totally different?
That's after Gen Z, for sure.
That's Gen Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Both teams get credit. Excellent work to everybody involved.
It was actually hard to get that one wrong now that we know more about Mr. Dorgan.
Yeah, no, you literally could have picked damn near any animal and damn near any modifying word to go with it, and it would have been correct. Round 4, question number 2, category is history.
History.
In the Middle Ages, where on their clothing would young men and women pin their name of their Valentine for a week so that everyone would know their true feelings?
The name of their Valentine. Good Lord. Is this researched? When was Saint Valentine alive? Wasn't it the Middle Ages?
Roman era. Roman times.
All right. Well, that is the Middle Ages if you count Byzantium. They were Romans.
Saint Valentine is Saint Valentine because back before Christianity was more than just, 5 people in a house. He would marry couples because the Romans didn't want Christianity getting out.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's why he's a saint.
GK, are you considering an answer that you're going to type in, or are you...
So my degree...
Just making the 3 dots show up.
My degree is in British history, of which the Middle Ages is part of that little center. I took a whole thing on...
Have you read our suggestions in the chat?
Yes,
yet?
I have, and I'm thinking.
Okay. Where's my lock emoji? All right, we're locking in.
So when I suggested over their genitals, Riley laughed at me. But it seems very on the nose.
So
it's not the nose, Jonathan.
So there's a phrase. So there's a phrase that's popping in my brain, which is why I'm trying to think if I should fight for this answer or not. Wearing your heart on your sleeve. That's a phrase that comes from the medieval ages.
Okay.
And I'm debating about fighting for it or not, and I don't know because heart seems too obvious, and it definitely wasn't genitals. That's more Renaissance. So I'm serious. You think they had cod pieces for a reason back then, but that wasn't.
I really like where you're going with this. I really like that. What's the category name?
History.
Yeah. I like that.
I think it's wearing your heart on your sleeve, so I want to say the sleeve. Because that's a very medieval saying.
I'm sold. Riley, what do you think?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I was just throwing darts, so heart was just the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, let's do sleeve.
John and GK and Riley are locked in with sleeve. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
I mean, sleeve sounds really, really good. I wish Bryson and I had thought of that. But we were like, dude, heart is like obvi, and back is like funny.
But it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, yes, we're in the second half, so the questions are going to be harder, but we're not going to say beep just because we don't think it's hard.
So we locked in with corazon.
Corazon.
They locked in with heart. So one team said sleeve, the other team said heart. The expression that comes from this is wearing your heart on your sleeve. Sleeve is your
pull. What a pull.
That is good.
No.
Yes.
My degree was worth it.
So the thing that I find most interesting in the debate of what the answers were, the question was, where on your clothing would you wear this? And the answers were back, heart, and genitalia. None of those are really articles of clothing.
You cover all of those things with clothing.
I get it. I understand. I just think it's funny that, it's not specifically a clothing-based answer. It's a location on the body-based answer.
Your questions are typically not that detailed.
Agree to disagree. Round 4, question number 3. Your category is remember. It's after September.
That's the wrong poem.
It's all right.
Using a time and date derived from Avogadro's number. On what date is Mole Day annually celebrated by science classes?
Avogadro's number.
Yeah, it's Avogadro. Not avocado.
Using time and date derived from Avogadro's number. On what date is Mole Day annually celebrated by science classes?
Oh, wow. That's right.
You're right, but I put it that way for the date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on board with what you're saying there.
Nick, what was the category in?
Remember, it's after September.
Riley, are you okay with that date? For those of you listening, which is all of you, his nodding head indicates yes.
Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out the question.
Yeah, gotcha. I think we can lock in. I think we're there. Let's do it. We're locked in.
All right, they're locked in. Zahkia and Bryson, you can talk out loud.
Avogadro's number, the measurement of a mole. My first thought was 2.68 something, but I saw your 4.2317. That also looks good, but the after September would make me think that it would be 1 point something, because October, it would be the 10th month.
Avogadro's number, I'm having a hard time coming up with it right now. And it's either 4.2 something or like 2.37. Mm-hmm. I'm very sure about that. I'm positive that it is not a 10 or 11 or a 12.
Okay, cool. So the category is just something else.
And the problem is like if we do 2.31 or something like that, we ended up with like February 31st, which doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, my chemistry professors are going to be upset with me. But
I remember in high school, this came up, Mole Day, and my mother is a chemist, so she's going to throttle me when and if she hears this. But I mean, I've missed chemistry questions on here before, and I am still alive. So I'm okay with going with April 20. Is April 23rd something else? Or is that just might be a birthday? That might be my brother-in-law's birthday. So
Funny thing is, I feel like it's a 2 number, but it's not like 2.17.
I'm thinking 2.68, but that
doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
February 68th? No, you don't want to go with that? Groundhog's Day, baby.
So it would be,
Hang on, 2.17159. That's it. It's February 17th. There we go.
You know
Meow,
what?
meow.
I like that. Yep. Let's do it. February 17th!
All right. So they're locking in with February 17th. Jonathan, GK, and Riley, what'd you say?
GK, do you want to enlighten us?
So Avogadro's number is 10 to the 23rd power. It's 6.07 times 10 to the 23rd power. There's more numbers after the 07, but 6.07 is the only one I remember. So we said, because you said after September, I went 10 to the 23rd power. So 1023 because it's after September, rather than 6.07, which is June 7th, which is when schools are usually getting out. So why would you celebrate that in school? But I think that was from your conversation that I'm just thinking of now. So
All right. So one team said October 23rd. The other team said February 17th. Avogadro's number is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power. The correct answer is October 23rd.
There we go.
is it 6.027 something?
Let me look it up.
Now I need to know if I'm
6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. That's right. 2.17 must be E or something like that.
Oh, probably. Okay, got you. All right.
6.023 times 10 to the 23rd. So technically it's 0.02214076. So there's a 7 in there.
Okay.
I was getting mixed up in our chat. I'm like, okay, this is like 10 to the something times the something power. And she's like, it's 1023. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. Like 23rd power.
And April 23rd is National Cherry Cheesecake Day. So super important
Isn't
holiday.
it Jonathan's birthday too?
No, November 5th.
No, Jonathan's birthday is November 5th.
Remember the 5th of November.
We're both Scorpios. Remember the 5th of November.
Yeah, no, that's an easy one because my wife is November 3rd, my mother is November 4th, and Jonathan's November 5th. So it's an awful week for me.
It is interesting that you put me on the level with those two for your birthday remembrances. I am honored and pleased.
Yep. It has nothing to do with the fact that they are consecutive days.
You don't have to remember the ones that aren't important.
After round number 4, Jonathan, GK, and Riley had 128 points to Zahkia and Bryson's 88. That was a big pull-away round. Yeah.
Yucky.
There's still time to make a comeback, though. Round 5, question number 1. The category is smoke and mirrors. Despite ending without answering many of its open-ended storylines, what 2005 series was the last to win the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Drama Series while airing on one of the big 3 broadcast networks? The big 3 broadcast networks being ABC, CBS, and NBC.
So, Nick, is the question asking that the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Drama Series doesn't exist anymore? Like, that's what I'm getting.
It's saying that the last time a network television show won the award was 2005. What was the show?
Okay. That helps a little bit.
Nobody else hears that window going off? The chat?
No.
My furnace just turned on. Maybe that's
No,
what you're
it's
hearing.
definitely a chat window sound, but everything I have is muted.
A chat window sound.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a
like whenever
ding?
you all send a message, it's like ba-bup, 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 ba-bup,
No, I
ba-bup.
don't hear that.
Nick's finally lost it.
He opened Pandora's box and got the madness. Honestly, if you're going to get any of those things, that's probably not the worst. You don't know you're mad. You think you're perfectly sane.
Please, I'll take Vice any day of the week. It's Discord.
Yeah, but what's the app? Do y'all want to go with that, or is there any other options?
That's the best one I can think of.
Yeah, I like that
you
logic
suggested.
too, Riley.
Yeah.
No, that's all Riley.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we
that's
lock
my
it
best
in.
guess.
Yeah.
Riley's got to give the answer though.
Absolutely. Tell us everything he knows about it, but not yet.
All right, they're locked in. Zahkia and Bryson, you can talk out loud.
I mean, we were about to lock in too, but I just want you guys to lock in first. 2005. I don't know if Heroes would count as a outstanding drama series, However, I do think like the first season was super beloved, and then it all went to pot after that, and it was canceled, and it had a bunch of like, weird storylines and kind of like a weird Rashomon-ish thing going on. And I think it aired on NBC. I don't know if it won an Emmy, but it makes sense that it would end without, any of the things being closed up because it got canceled. So that's what we were thinking. You want to lock in Heroes, Bryson?
Yep. All right, so they're locking in Heroes. Jonathan, GK, and Riley, what did you say?
So, I don't know. I've been lost this whole game.
I love it. Love it.
But this was the first one that just kind of sounded right to me. I mean, I remember a lot of friends watched that show, and there was just all those crazy bonkers stories going on, and everybody was into Lost. So, I mean, that was the best guess we came up with, so that's what we went with.
That's a good one.
So they are locking in with Lost. Zahkia and Bryson said Heroes. Your correct answer is Lost. Good work.
Good job, Riley.
Good job, Riley. I would have I would have had some shame if I missed that, honestly, and I'm glad you pulled it because I wouldn't have. My girlfriend Sarah literally wrote a book on Lost. It's called Literary Lost. It's an educational, not educational, but it's an academic style book. Yeah. And she was a huge Lost fan. She documented a lot of the phenomenon in there.
Round 5, question number 2. The category is Science.
Science.
With its namesake being a Roman god, what is the largest known object currently in the Kuiper Belt? All right, 30 seconds left.
I desperately want to talk. God bless it. Grace, you haven't actually said anything since way earlier.
That's because I was trying to get the spelling right on that statement the whole time. That's why I made the comment. Spelling's gone completely out the window.
All right, need an answer.
All right, we can lock in our answer that I'm cringing at.
All right, they're locked in. Jonathan, GK, and Riley, you cannot talk. I need an answer.
I'm gonna give the answer is gonna be series. But I'll tell you, I'll give you more of it so that we can talk through it. The real question became, where is the Kuiper Belt? What is the Kuiper Belt? We know there's an asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. The largest object in that asteroid belt is Ceres. It's a dwarf planet. But there are extrasolar dwarf planets too, like Makemake is an example of that, I think. And I was thinking that the Kuiper Belt might be outside of the solar system, around the solar system, like a magnetic belt or something like that. But I think I was thinking of the Oort cloud, which is outside of the solar system and is the place where our comets come from, the irregular shape of their orbits. So with Oort cloud definitely not being Kuiper Belt, it made me feel better about the chance that is the name for the asteroid belt around there. So we did lock in with Ceres.
All right, they said Ceres. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
My recollection is that the Kuiper Belt is basically outside the orbit of the major planets, and then the Oort cloud is outside that. So the Kuiper Belt is in the same plane as the solar system, but it's out past, let's hear, Uranus, Neptune, out past the gas giants. And then the Oort cloud is spherical and actually comes all the way around the solar system. Given that knowledge, we still couldn't come up with the individual god, or at least we might have. We went ahead and just guessed with Janus.
All right, so they said Janus. The other team said Ceres. Y'all went through a lot of knowledge on this, and at no point did anybody say anything incorrect. You were all 100% right on all of that information. The Oort cloud is the giant spherical thing that is outside of the solar system. The Kuiper Belt, it goes from the orbit of Neptune out to 50 AU from the sun. So it is outside of all of the gas giants and everything else.
Pluto, then. It can't be Pluto because that's not Greek.
I bet you it's Pluto. No, but that's
Roman. No, it's Pluto. It's absolutely going to be Pluto. Roman god.
The only wrong thing y'all said was the answers you gave. The correct answer is Pluto.
Yeah, God bless it. I was thinking it in the back of my head, but I couldn't get past. When I think of the outside of the solar sister, there's a band name.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Solar Sisters. When I think of outside of the solar system, which is where my mind places the Kuiper Belt, if that is that's where my gut was taking me, Pluto is part of the solar system for me, so Kuiper Belt is outside of that. So that's why that never came into the conversation.
Yeah, you were like, it can't be one of the planets, so it's not Pluto. And I'm like, are you sure about that?
Bruh, I need a drummer and a guitarist. Solar Sister needs to be a band.
I have
Carmela will join that band with
Solar
you.
Sister song stuck in my head. But
From Train. Yeah.
Hey, Solar Sister.
True Mr. on the radio. Oh, and by the way, that came from Brian Nash, that question.
Thank
you, Brian.
Yeah, as does this one. This is a tri-bond for round 5, question number 3. Muggsy Bogues, the Six-Fingered Man, and the Backyardigans Moose all share what name?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
What the heck are you talking about?
I can't spell.
It's not Bugsy. It's Muggsy Bogues.
Shh, it's fine. It's fine. We're all good. I'm totally paying attention. I totally misheard, and now
We're
I'm
only
reading
using words here, Jonathan.
I know.
Okay.
And I'm just reading it.
Backyardigan is really hard to type. Okay. Yeah. Let's want to emoji this. You feel
Emoji
good?
Are you locked in?
I'm asking Bryson if he would like to.
Yeah.
That's a yes.
All right, they are locked in, Jonathan, GK, and Riley.
All right, y'all. So Muggsy Bogues is one of the shortest players to ever play in the NBA.
Yeah.
The Six-Fingered Man in The Princess Bride is Count Rugen. That's his name. The Backyardigans Moose, I got no idea.
Nothing.
Muggsy Bogues played for the Charlotte Hornets for most of his career. I am not aware of Muggsy Bogues' name being either Count or Rugen. So that's where I'm struggling with this concept.
Is it a nickname, though, that they share and not an actual real name? Like, did
Could
Muggsy go by
absolutely be that.
the small dude? I don't know.
It could just be Count.
Did he go by
What
any
about the
other names in that? I've never seen the movie.
I was going to say the actor.
The actor's okay. The actor is Christopher Guest. Maybe it's Chris Muggsy Bogues. Christopher Muggsy Bogues.
I got nada. So I'm with whatever.
Chris seems really boring for the Backyardigan Moose, but I got nothing better.
We know the Six-Fingered names, the Six-Fingered Man's name and its his real name and his character's name. It feels like it has to be either Count, Rugen, Christopher, or Guest. I know who Muggsy Bogues is, and I am not. I feel like Count is going to be the right answer. If out of those, I feel like I would go with Count. Like, I can see Muggsy Bogues having a nickname of Count something.
Like, count how many times I dribble between your legs?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I got nothing.
It's a good guess as any.
Share what name? Muggsy Bogues.
He's
definitely
the guy
had
that
a nickname.
had the picture when he was it like next to Shaq or another really tall
Next
player?
to
You know
Manute
that
Bol.
picture? Manute Bol.
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking of the right guy.
He was also in Space Jam. He was one of the NBA players in Space Jam.
Wait, isn't the six? Doesn't
need an answer.
Prince Humperdinck in Princess Bride
Need an answer.
call him Tyrone or Ty or something?
You know what? I like that. I like that a lot. We'll go with Tyrone. Tyrone Muggsy Bogues sounds like the back of a basketball card I read. I like that.
All right, they are locked in with Tyrone, Zahkia, and Bryson. What did you say?
Bruh.
GK.
I'm remembering the movie. He says Tyrone. Don't fail
I
me.
was just waiting for her to go, bruh.
Tyrone,
Yeah, bruh.
You know I love to see you work, but I've got my country's 500th anniversary to plan, my wedding to plan, my wife to murder. I'm swamped.
So I knew this because I've got way too weird of a relationship with the Backyardigans. It was my best friend's little sister's favorite show when we were in high school. And then when I had my own kid, for some reason, I watched it. Well, I don't know. It was weird. But the characters are Pablo the Penguin, Austin the Kangaroo, Uniqua the Alien, Tasha the Hippo, and Tyrone the Moose.
No, Scheisse. No, Scheisse. All right.
All right. So both teams said Tyrone. Tyrone, you know how much I love watching you work, but I've got my country's 500th anniversary to plan, my wedding to arrange, my wife to murder, and Gilda to frame for it. I'm swamped.
And that was ironic because it was swamped.
Yeah, and I just looked up the credits. The Backyardigans Nickelodeon show going up to 2013. Closed captioning provided by GK Lyttle. Very interesting note.
I started in 2014. Thank you very much. Okay, that was before my time.
As soon as you said Tyrone, my mind flashed to the back of a basketball card, which I didn't collect basketball cards, so I have no idea why it would flash to a basketball card. But it clearly stated Tyrone Muggsy Bogues.
No way.
As soon as you said that word, it's like, oh, that is right.
Count Tyrone Rugen.
Yeah.
All right, after round number 5, the score is 148-98. Jonathan, GK, and Riley picking up ground on round number 5. We head into round number 6. This entire round comes to us from David Abelavia, so thank you, David.
Gracias.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
Round 6, question number 1. Your category is typography.
Typography?
Typography.
What monospaced typeface developed by IBM in the 1950s really delivers and is the industry standard for screenplays and was routinely used by the State Department until 2004?
That's not how you spell it.
Meow.
Oh, you have meow.
Kitty.
Yes.
You locked in?
Yeah.
GK, you typed courtier. Do you mean courier?
Yes, that's why it's not spelled that way. It's like courier typeface. Because I've seen I've seen a whole bunch of scripts from television to commercials to films. And I feel like it's courier or courtier.
No, courier is the name of a font.
Oh, am I misreading the question?
No, you're on the right track. I think you're saying courier.
Yeah.
That is a font, and he's looking for a font. A typeface. So do you not like that now?
It's either that or Arial.
Well, or Calibri or Times New Roman or any other font, but you had a reason for saying courier first.
Probably not Wingdings.
Probably not.
Because I remember in film, so I took film, my minor was media and society, which is a fun, interesting way to say film minor. But I remember there's a specific screenplay application, and I always forget the name of it, but it has one font only, and you can bold, italic, underline, do everything else to it, but it's only one font, and I feel like it's Courier.
Then let's say Courier.
Okay.
Riley, do you have any input on this one?
Absolutely not.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, if you're trying to say Courtier, then I think we should say Courier.
No, I can't spell today. Yes.
All right, so you locked in?
I think so.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, they are locked in. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
Courier really delivers. Like, like a courier.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just knew this, and not because I have any association with the State Department, but yes, the answer is courier.
All right, so both teams said courier, and this font really delivers. It is courier. Both teams are right.
Nice. GK pulling all these answers from the deep realms of her mind.
She is truly the one pulling our team forward here. We would have a much lower score if not for her.
Totally are cursing me for the gauntlet now, man. Like, we're good.
I'm not cursing you for anything.
Round 6, question number 2. Your category is biography.
Biography.
Which book by Ron Chernow was a New York Times bestseller and tells the story of a bastard, orphan, son of a whore, and a Scotsman? I'm sorry, I blacked out.
What? Certain words.
All right, 1 minute left.
That's as good a name as any. I'm good with it. I don't know about you, Rory, but I'm good with locking that in.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right, we'll lock in.
All right, Zahkia and Bryson, you got 30 seconds left.
Oh, good, because we have nothing.
Whore and a Scot sounds very old-timey, you know? This is not something that's going to be in the 20th century, right?
No, I don't think so. Okay, so realistically, I don't hate your idea of Alexander Hamilton because he was like, he wasn't he in like Born in the Caribbean or something, and like his parents died. But I think I'm not a musical gal, but I feel like, and this is game 3 a little bit, if it was that Jonathan would have gotten this because I feel like he's seen the musical. I haven't.
It's really not hit on that hard in the musical. It's just like briefly mentioned and they go.
Oh, so
I guess that's the only guess we've got.
Sure.
You're wondering if I've seen the Hamilton musical?
There's really no way to tell.
I mean, only like 80 times, and
yeah,
bought the book with all the lyrics.
Hey, they've got 10 seconds left. Let them talk.
Bruh, we don't have anything else, and we'll just go with Alexander Hamilton. lack emoji.
All right, they locked in with Alexander Hamilton, Jonathan, GK, and Riley.
Okay, so I have lots of knowledge around this. I'm just worried about the final answer. It is a book about Alexander Hamilton. Ron Chernow wrote an Alexander Hamilton biography. The story of a bastard orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman is a lyric in the first line of the musical Hamilton. So, huge clue that this is about Hamilton. That musical is based on the book by Ron Chernow. That was the primary reading material that Miranda was using when he wrote it. So I know all of that. What I don't know for sure is the name of the book.
Yeah, okay.
I'm worried it's like a Lion in Winter situation where there's a phrase that is probably in the musical somewhere and was the name of the book, but I know that I've seen the book. I cannot think of any phrase that fits, so we locked in with Alexander Hamilton.
So both teams said Alexander Hamilton. The opening line of the musical, how does a bastard orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence, impoverished in squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar? Your correct answer is a book about Alexander Hamilton. However, the title is Alexander Hamilton. Both teams get credit.
Yes. Did he write the one about Grant, about Ulysses S. Grant? Did he write the same author write that one?
I don't know. I know it wasn't the same as Adams.
He wrote Hamilton. He wrote Washington a Life. He did write Grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I read that one and I didn't read the other. I didn't read any other one.
I'd pay to see
we were
that
trying
musical.
to guess the name. My guess was Hamilton Schmamilton.
And then Nick put in Spamilton.
Yeah.
Which both are correct answers.
Spamilton was excellent.
I'd see Spamilton.
Schmamilton was too.
Final question of round number 6. Question number 3. The category is geography.
Geography.
It's the last question of the game, so it's time to wrap it up a little. What word, commonly heard in the real estate industry and also ruled by iron-fisted leadership, is used to describe a territory that is jointly controlled by 2 or more other countries?
Yep, I was just thinking the same thing.
Oh, ha! Okay.
All right, need answers.
I like that, Bryson. Let's lock emoji.
All right, Jonathan, GK, and Riley, what is your answer?
So when I think of...
We don't have an answer. I don't even think we have a shared understanding of the question.
Yeah, so
why are y'all talking about mountains?
Well, I was just because it says the territory shared by
jointly controlled by 2 or more other countries.
But
2 or more so like a mountain range, like crosses multiple countries. Like, is that a territory controlled by multiple countries? What would that be called?
No, like Antarctica is a territory controlled by multiple countries. There's they slice up a named place and they all have ownership over.
And when I think of iron fisted, I think of the USSR, which is why I originally said United.
That doesn't feel right either, because a union is internal.
That's true.
I mean, we don't have a good answer here.
I like yours of escrow, though. That seems
we can give that as our best wrong answer.
Yeah.
But time's up, so we got to give it anyway. So we'll say escrow.
Yeah.
All right, so Jonathan, GK, and Riley said escrow. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
We had a long conversation trying to come up with words that fit all the different clues that were given in there. For instance, wrap it up. And then iron-fisted leadership. So I'm like junta and, dictatorship, fascism, all that kind of stuff. But wrapping it up, a common real estate term is a parcel of land.
Oh.
So Zahkia and Bryson said parcel. Jonathan, GK, and Riley said escrow. 10 points to Slytherin here.
Oh, darn, I liked your answer.
Yeah, nobody got that right. Parcel was a good answer. You are dead on with the fascist, iron-fisted leadership. That is a correct definition of this group in the real estate industry. Wrap it up. What do you wrap up?
Parcels.
Lots of things. Gifts, presents, shows.
Yeah. Y'all are in very different veins than I was going for. The correct answer is condominium. Condominium is your correct answer.
Condom.
How do you wrap up a condominium?
You wrap your
What? I don't understand.
Wrap it up.
You wrap your year of the chicken
for putting on the condom.
Year of the chicken.
So wait,
oh my god.
The clue was get you to condom so you can find your way to condominium?
Wrap it up a little.
Okay. Well, that's why we didn't get it, guys.
I tested this on half a dozen people, and 4 out of the 6 got there based on that clue.
Good for them.
So.
Oh.
What does it have to do with iron-fisted leadership?
Have you ever dealt with a condo board?
No. Most of us haven't.
Yeah,
No,
fascist iron-fisted leadership. That's an excellent description.
I am in a condo right now. I can confirm that is
Interesting
accurate.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just clues didn't hit us. That's all.
Yeah. No.
Is better.
All right. After round number 6, your score is 168 for the score of Jonathan, GK, and Riley, and 118 for Zahkia and Bryson. Your category for the gauntlet is guaranteed to brighten your day.
Who wrote the gauntlet?
I did.
Okay.
We have to. It's just there's a reason it came up.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. Wagers locked in.
Okay. Your category for the gauntlet.
We have to say
sorry.
our wager is locked in because it is, but
There you go.
our wager.
Sorry, I
is
was
locked in.
reading your lock emoji and got ahead of myself.
Okay.
Your category, once again, for the gauntlet is guaranteed to brighten your day, mainly because of his work in ending conflict between Russia and Japan with a Portsmouth, New Hampshire conference, and for settling a dispute with France and Germany over the division of Morocco. Which U.S. president was the first to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? And grammatically, it is the first president to get the Nobel Peace Prize, not the first person.
Ooh.
We'll lock in.
So, Bryson, you there?
I think
He doesn't look there.
I mean, he's there, but he ain't there.
He's not all there.
The madness has set in.
Yeah.
That's Pandora.
Bad Wi-Fi escaped from that box.
There he is.
Okay.
Bad Wi-Fi is one of the 8 things in Pandora's box.
Oh my God. Okay, he's
The
back.
horror.
He's back. Our answer's locked in.
Question number 2 in the gauntlet, once again, category is guaranteed to brighten your day. The larger of the 2 landlocked countries in South America is named after which Venezuelan liberator of most of the continent from the Spanish Empire?
Oh my goodness.
So you want the name of the guy, not the name of the country.
Correct.
Yeah, we can lock that in. I'm very, very confident.
as my Bryson.
The one Jonathan said.
Yep. The one Riley said too.
Oh, no, because he said 2 after that. So I don't.
Those were
Are
first names.
Ah, okay. Got you. Okay.
All right. And question number 3 in the category of guaranteed to brighten your day. Which New Orleans Saint running back was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2017 draft, was awarded Rookie of the Year, made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 5 seasons, and is tied for the record of most touchdowns in a game with 6?
Our answer is locked in.
I'd really love to know how the category fits. Guaranteed to brighten your day. I don't.
Unless he's got a nickname.
Alvin Simon Theodore. There
it is.
Alvin
The Chipmunks.
Simon Theodore.
Good. Okay, then it's absolutely Kamara. We can lock in.
All right. Both teams are locked in for your gauntlet. Going back to the top in the category of guaranteed to brighten your day, mainly because of his work between Russia and Japan and France and Germany. Who was the first president to win the Nobel Peace Prize? Jonathan, GK, and Riley. What did you say?
I've read a 3 full book, very large book biography about this man. I had as much confidence around this as any answer I could have ever had. We went with Teddy Roosevelt.
All right. They said Teddy Roosevelt. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
We also went with Teddy Roosevelt. I had Meow Meow say he'd won one, and pretty sure based on the timing of the Russo-Japanese War that was going to be it.
So both teams said Teddy Roosevelt on that one. Question number 2, the larger of the 2 landlocked countries in South America is named after which Venezuelan liberator? Zahkia and Bryson.
I mean, I just asked about Simon Bolivar. We said Simon Bolivar.
Simon Bolivar is their answer. GK, Riley, and Jonathan.
We had the same answer.
He's not wrong.
He's not
Bolivia
wrong.
is named after Bolivar.
Simon, which
All
is
right.
Spanish for Simon.
And finally, it's the color commentary that makes the show. Which New Orleans Saint running back was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2017 draft and had all those other accolades? Zahkia and Bryson, what did you say?
As my regular quiz team will tell you, I don't know anything about sports unless it's Formula One racing, which this is definitely not. GK, good on you for getting the hint there. That was fantastic. But even then, Alvin was going to help me. So Lucky Johnson.
But if it were Calvin Simon Theodore, Calvin Johnson would still be wrong. But it's cute. It's cute. It's still wrong, but fun.
That's real good. I like that.
And Jonathan, GK, and Riley, what was your answer?
So I remembered the theme song to the Chipmunks. CHIPMUNK. We're the chipmunk, guaranteed to brighten your day. Do, 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 do. Because the 80s were awesome.
Good performance.
That's how I got
well done.
Theodore. So I know nothing about sports, so that was all you do.
And Riley, I mean, before we didn't have the category figured out, but Riley did nail the answer that we gave. Do you want to give that answer, Riley?
Alvin Kamara.
All right. So Jonathan, GK, and Riley said Alvin Kamara there. Zahkia and Bryson said Lucky Johnson. Back to the top. Let's see how this worked out. In the category of guaranteed to brighten your day, the Russia, Japan, and France, Germany president who was the first to get the Peace Prize. Your correct answer is Teddy Roosevelt. Both teams said Teddy Roosevelt. Both teams are correct. Question number 2, the largest landlocked country in South America is Bolivia, and the Venezuelan liberator is Simón Bolívar. And finally, the New Orleans Saint running back, made the Pro Bowl in his first 5 seasons, that had 6 touchdowns in a game, is Alvin Kamara, and guaranteed to brighten your day is a lyric from the Chipmunks theme song. So yeah, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore are all your correct answers, which means the team of Jonathan, GK, and Riley got everything right. Zahkia and Bryson did not, but as always, it comes down to the wager. So
also doesn't really.
Oh no,
come
it
down.
doesn't come down to the wager.
It really
come down to a wager.
Nope, absolutely doesn't, because the team that was leading got it right and the team that was trailing got it wrong. So it doesn't
Right.
matter. Zahkia and Bryson, what did you wager?
Well, we were talking earlier, and Jonathan thought I was going to go all in. So, of course, we bet 0.
So
a rough game for us.
Yeah, 118 points. 0 was the wager. That means they finished with a score of 118 points. Jonathan, GK, and Riley, what did you wager?
Nice.
Yeah, we thought about going 49, and then we realized the lockout bet would be 69, and we kind of had to, so we went 69. Dude.
All right, so
Nice.
168
Nice
plus 69 is 237 points with a final score of 237 to 118. Your winners today, GK, Riley, and Jonathan.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Good game, y'all.
Very good game.
Really good game. Before we go, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. GK and Riley, you're on the winning team, so GK, we're going to start with you.
Everybody support local theater. Go to community theater, even if it's not a professional troupe coming through. It's local theater. It's art. Art is important in society. So go see that play in that rundown old theater down the street. It's worth it. You'll have a fun time.
Totally agree. All right, Riley, you're up.
Shop local. Support your small businesses. They all work really hard, and they all make good, nice products in your community. Support your community. This, you're listening to this podcast, so you're already throwing some bucks their way, but maybe throw a couple more. I'm sure you spend money on dumber every month, so
No question about that.
That's how I got.
That is our new tagline. I'm sure you spend money on dumber than us.
That's a great tagline.
So good. Beautiful. All right. Thank you, Riley. Bryson, you're up.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Really appreciate it. I'd like to give thanks to my new bride, Wah, for making time for me to be available for you guys. As for cause, I'm a big fan of the American Heart Association. They make a huge difference in saving people's lives, teaching CPR, teaching rescue breathing, because before they can get to the hospital, that first aid really, really matters. If you can't make a donation, go take a class, see if you can volunteer. But they make a difference in everybody's day, everybody's life.
He's a doctor. You should listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, Bryson. That is going to wrap us up for today. So, for Bryson, for GK, for Riley, for Zahkia, and Nick, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 467 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
Nick, is that a Stanley Cup?
Yes.
I'm judging.
I'm a basic white. What do you want from me?
Still judging.
It was a gift from my kids' baseball team.
That sounds interesting. Although I find online poker to be not the same.
Oh, we do tournament style. We do buy-ins with real money for tournaments.
Okay. But still,
you
can't pick up on people's tells. My buddy Jason, for example, he'll start teaching. He will start telling other people what they should do, and he's not paying attention to his cards anymore.
We do a Zoom call at the same time.
Zoom call, too. You can absolutely pick on people's tells. Will Dennison is marvelous at picking up on people's tells.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I need to know what mine is.
Drew Bucksbaum cannot hide his tells.
I love Drew so much. I know he could be awful at poker.
Oh,
Drew is like,
good.
I'm not saying I don't have an ace.